This is Lori, and welcome to my series on adventures in soldering. In this episode, we'll be making a purple LED follower. It's a circular board, PCB, and it has LEDs around the outside of the board, and they kind of chase each other. They light one right after the other and chase each other, so that's the LED follower part of it. This kit was given to me by Keith Lohmeyer, who puts together his own kits, designs his own PCBs. He uses them to teach people how to solder in his community. And when he heard I was trying to improve my soldering skills, he sent me some of his kits so that I could practice with them. So I'm really excited to show off this kit, and let's see if I can get it done. Now, as always, we'll follow the motto of this series. I am a beginner at soldering. I am not an expert, so you may see me use approaches that might not be the best. I just want to remind everybody I'm learning, and I'm sharing my learning journey with you. So this is my motto, that if I can't be a good example, then I'll just have to be a horrible warning. All right, let's just talk a little bit about the circuit that Keith has set up on this PCB. As I said before, he designs them for a soldering class that he runs at his local library. And the kit is based off of a 555 timer, that's up here, and another chip, a 4017 decade counter. So he wanted to use those to create an LED follower. So each of these LEDs will light in succession and kind of chase each other around the outside of the PCB here. And it's nice because it does look like it's a pretty simple layout and just a few components all through holes. So less chance of messing up, I guess. And I just clipped out a little bit about what Keith had said about this circuit that he designed. And I will leave a link in the description to his blog where he discusses this particular kit and how he designed it. And you can see I'm not familiar with this decade counter chip, and I'm still really at the very early stages of understanding the 555 timer. So I'm not going to pretend that I entirely understand how this circuit works. But here's Keith's description from his blog about it. So again, please go and visit his blog, and you can learn more about this kit and some other ones that he's tried. And some of his, he shares some of the things that worked and some of the things that didn't work when teaching beginners at soldering. So if you're doing something like that, Keith's blog would be very valuable to you. And I just thought I'd show a layout of all the pieces that are in the kit here. So we have the two ICs that we'll be putting on here. We have a few resistors, 3 of them. Then the LEDs that we'll put around the outside. A switch to turn it on, and a couple of capacitors that'll go on the circuit as well. All right. Now you could, get out your chart and learn how to read resistors, but as I've said before in this series, I just use my my multimeter on the resistor setting and measure the ohms. So this is 47 kilo ohms. So that's the one that goes right over here. And let's do the next one. And this is the 220 ohm, which is the one that's right here. And the last one is the 2.2 kilo ohm, which is right there. Yeah, so that's well set up, and that'll be what we do first. I just thought I'd show off this nice PCB board that Keith Lohmeyer designed. It's really nice. I love the color. It's really solid. Looks great. It's going to be a lot of fun. Well, I tried to drop down my camera a little bit. I don't have a lot of control over my camera. I use my iPhone for this kind of work. So just doing the standard, bending them into place and then, bending them back a little bit so they stay in when we put it upside down. All right, I dropped the camera down just a little bit. I'm hoping this will give a little bit better view of the soldering. In the past, I've just kind of zoomed in on the actual recording I've made, and of course you lose some clarity when I do that, lose resolution. So this is about as low as I'm comfortable letting my iPhone get to all this stuff. Maybe someday I'll buy a real 4K camera, but till then I'm using my iPhone because I already paid for that, and I can get pretty decent footage out of it most of the time. But when you want to go back and forth between different distances, that's a problem for it. Well, let's see if we can get these resistors on. I've got them pulled through and bent back so they'll stay up, and got everything mounted in here. Got my absorber on, and start here towards the back and get these going. That looks pretty good. Alright. Now last ones are here. And this last one here. Yeah. A little more. Okay, I think we got that. Alright, that looks pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and snip these off. Been trying to perfect this where you put your finger on it so it doesn't go bouncing up into your eyes or something. But I'm also a little nervous about clipping my finger too. So yeah, there's that. Got that one and that one. All right. I need to nip that one up a little bit more. And that one too. There, that looks nice. Trimmed up. Okay, I'm torn about what to do next because I want to get these ICs on. I'm with the 555 timer and the 4017 IC chip. Usually I'd save them to last, but they're in the center. So that's one reason for trying to go for them now. And also I think I'll be able to kind of lay them down on the surface and keep them pushed through that way rather than trying to tape them on. I mean, I could do that too. That would work because I want them to sit nice and firmly. So I think that's what I'm going to do next, even though probably my next inclination would be to do the capacitors or the LEDs next, but I'm going to put the IC chips on. Probably doesn't matter too much. So that's next step. Okay, so we'll start with the 555 timer, and as we've done a few of these before, we always look for the notch. And you can see that the notch is also shown on here, so that would be the way we'd want it to go in. We want to be careful not to bend these legs and just to get them in there like that. Okay, so that matches the notch, and then we'll do the 16 leg one next. And notice I've also got the notch matched with the notch. All right, come on. And you don't want to be impatient with this sort of thing. You want it to go in there firmly, but I think I've almost got it. Something's not quite getting in there. Maybe I don't have them quite straightened up. Might be. I think they're a little sprayed apart too. All right, let me try this again. And I'm going to give them just a little pinch in. They were just a little too spread out. Okay, got to make sure I get the notches matched up because we don't want to put it in backwards. Okay, that worked pretty well. All right, so we got them in. So I'm going to flip them over and I'm going to put them right down on the surface. And I was kind of hoping that they would stay, but you know what? They don't. They aren't exactly flat. They're different, slightly different heights. I was hoping they'd just kind of lay. Maybe that'll work. All right. Put a few of those around it to try to keep them wedged in there. I might angle that a little bit for my left-handedness. You know, that's not stable enough for me. And that's how I end up with things not all the way down. So I think I'm going to get out some of my tape and tape them down and suspend it. Okay, I got them taped on with my high temperature tape, and it keeps them firmly. So I can go ahead and, I've been really liking the boards kind of wedged in with these little holders. And pretty easy to work around them too. So I'm going to try that. And a little bit more light on it. Hopefully not too much. And we'll turn on our absorber and we'll get going here. So I'll start with the corners and get it on here. Go, and I'll do this one there. I'll go ahead and get this one too, just in case I by accident knock on it. It looks like it's in good shape here. And I'll do this one too. There. Right, now's a good time just to check and make sure I have them flat, because I could fix them if I needed to. I could reflow it and push it up, because I've just done the two corners, and I could adjust it a little bit. But it looks good and flat, so I'm going to go ahead and finish it up. Okay, I think that's got it. Okay, let's just take a quick look. And well, trying to get a sideways look at this, but yeah, I think it's looking all right. And we'll just take off our tape. And they're on there pretty good. Alright, probably next I'm going to do is the capacitors, I think. Well, I just thought I'd show, you know, the nice thing about the capacitors is that they tell you what they are on the side. And they also remind you that the short leg is the negative. So we've got the 1 microfarad here, so that's this one here. So we'll put the long leg in the plus, and the short leg in the other one, and we'll bend it back like that. So that should do fine. And then this little one we'll put like this, and we'll slide it in as well. And it doesn't have any polarity to it, so we'll just pop that in as well. Alright, guess we're ready to put these in. And go for this one. Alright. I want that to hang straight up. I'm gonna check and make sure this looks not too crooked. Yeah, okay. Just figured if I needed to, I could straighten it up before I did the second leg. I think I need to do more checking to make sure. I like to try to get things straight up and down if I can. Alright. Yeah. Looks good. Alright, I put the switch on, kind of working my way out. So I'm going to do the LEDs last. Anyway, so I got the switch on here. Didn't seem to matter which direction I put it. And got it good and taped on. So we'll go ahead and load it in here. And get it set up. There we go. And we'll turn on our... And I'm going to try one side first and get it on. And then I'm going to check and make sure that it's straight. It's not coming out. Oh, it's on good. So yeah, I think the tape did its job. I'm getting a tad smarter about this. So I'm getting more practice. Alright, let's finish it up. That seems good. A little more on this middle one. Oh, excellent. Let's take a look. I think, that's a little too much, isn't it? I think it looks pretty good. And I'll take off our tape. And, yeah. I think it's good and flat. Oh, I'm very happy with that. Next up is the LEDs. Alright, I'm gonna try, they're not, when you hang them upside down like this, they don't stay real firm to the top. They're gonna dangle just a little bit. So, I've been watching a few people on YouTube who are pretty good at soldering kits. And one of their strategies for this is to just get one of the leads done. So I'm going to do that. And then to stop, put their finger under here and refirm it and then make it flat, hold it, and then let go. Now let's see how that worked. I definitely felt it move into place. And yeah, look at that. It is nice and flat. You look pretty good. Alright, well I'm going to put the other 4 on and do the other legs, but that was kind of the new strategy I used this time around, and yeah, that worked pretty well. Alright, we got them all done. And I'm pretty proud to say they're all neatly flat against the surface. And I got them all trimmed up. So I'm thinking that's looking pretty sweet. Very happy with how this has come out. Of course, this is Keith's beginner one, but you know, I'm still learning. So last thing we need to do is to connect in the connector for the 9-volt battery here. And just put the red with the positive and the black with the negative, and we'll have it right. Well, I got it soldered. I forgot to push the button when I was soldering, but here you can see it. Got it soldered. Took the tape off. It looks pretty good. So now it's time to try it out. Got the battery in. So let's turn on the switch and watch it go. Oh man, that's super fun. What a great design, Keith. And thanks so much for sharing this kit with me. And always, thanks for watching.